Hey everybody, and for right now we're going to turn on our attention to orc flesh. For this, you can use orc flesh to contrast paint, but I'm going to show you a different way. So for this, we're going to use a base coat of Deathworld Forest. So, and if you want, you could of course use wall instead of Deathworld Forest. You can use wall flesh, then Elysian green, then Olgren camo, or then War Boss green, and then Scorsnick green. So here, one more. So, all we're going to do, base coat the whole entire flesh. For this is an orc knob, but don't worry, this will work on other orcs, including your Gretchin. So, we're going to paint Deathworld Forest on all the areas where you see flesh. And don't worry if you hit any of the weapons or anything else, just at this stage, don't worry, you can just paint them later. Okay, let me just dry off my brush. Just drying off my brush. Oh, next we're going to apply a wash to the skin. For this, we're going to use Beeltan Green. But if you're using Deathworld Forest, you could of course use a Athonian camo shade if you wish, if you want more of a drab tone. Okay, so take some Beeltan Green. We're not going to be thinning this down at all, or keeping it out of the pot. We're just going to make sure we don't have too much on our brush. Like so. So we're going to apply this wash all over where you see the green flesh. Now if you want, you could of course use what I said earlier. You can, instead of Deathworld Forest, you can then use Wall Flesh, and then War Boss Green, and then Scorsnick Green. But for this, we're going to use Deathworld Forest, Elysian Green, and possibly some Olgren camo. Make sure this part of the skin is dry. Okay, good. So, what we're going to do, alright, that's the skin shaded. Alright, since the skin is still, since the shade is still settling in the recesses, we can immediately begin with the layers. For this, we're going to take a layer brush. For this, I have 5-0, but if you're using a Citadel colors, I highly recommend a medium or an even extra small layer brush. For this, we're going to use Elysian Green. So, let's shake up the paint. Now we do want to thin this down a little bit because even though it's a layer paint, we still want to thin it down so it goes on nice and smoothly. Barely a pinch of water. Okay, so all we're going to do, is we're going to base cut the flatter areas of flesh. So like right here. So all we're going to do is that we're going to focus on the flatter parts. So wherever you see the shade like settled, avoid those, and just make sure you just paint the more prominent parts. And for the elbow, it's kind of hard to see, but we're right here on the bicep. And now we're going to do something different. We're going to go like this. All right, same thing on the other arm. And finally, we're going to focus on the face. So, get some more paint. For this, we're going to look on the flatter parts. Oh, and also the back of the neck. So, if you look right here, in between the neck, it's somewhat settled, so we're going to do this. This part's a little hard to see. I'm going to have to hold it upside down. Focus all over the face. All right, that's our Lycian green done. So all we're going to do is we're going to apply an even finer highlight. For this, we're going to use all green. We're going to use all green camo. If you don't have all green camo, you could of course use Creed Khaki, but I really prefer all green camo. So since we've made very little, we're not going to be thinking out of the pot. We're just going to do like very fine edge highlights. So, particularly on the face. So if you look right here, where there's a little brow right there, eyebrow, So all we're going to do for the muscles, you just want to paint around the edges, like so. So on the edges of the muscles, right here. So, and now especially for the fingers, just on the knuckles, or you could go on the full away as well, because the fingers are kind of like a highlighted area. Same over here, and follow the edges, and just follow the edges. Okay, so one last thing before we end this video. Now you may notice with the Ogren camo, it may have done a little bit of damage, but don't worry, that's fine. We're gonna go back to our Lycian green. So if you notice here, we made a mistake. Sorry, let me get rid of that bubble. There we go. Right here. See? Too chunky on highlights. And so now, oh, and also before I forget, when we applied the Lycian green, it might have been strokey somewhere when we applied the Lycian green. So now we're gonna paint those over, paint them over with that again. All right, that's our orc skin done. All right, now keep in mind, if you do, this will not just only work on orcs, you can use it on your Gretchin, and you can also use it for orcs that you, for Age of Sigmar, like for the Cruel Boys, or any other else. So, I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Bye-bye.